Thank you for joining us on the Varsity Media Sports Network. It's the 10 and under Nassau County Youth League Championship games. I'm Gavin Shull. It's the East Rockaway Raiders taking on the Massapequa Mustangs, a premier matchup. Massapequa went 1-1 at the 8 and 9-year-old level, so they look for another championship at the 10 and under level. East Rockaway, this is their lone team to make it in, so a lot riding for head coach Michael D'Agostino's squad. Head coach Louis D'Agostino's squad. So this will be exciting. The Raiders and the Mustangs, plenty of talent on both sides. We'll get into all of it. A championship on the line here at Mitchell Field. Some names to know for the Mustangs here in the 10 and under championship. I'm looking up for Andre Nathaniel. Big number 62, talented tight end. Andrew Benedict, an offensive lineman. He's going to be good today. Starting two ways is Liam Cunningham. Strong, athletic, tough. They meet in midfield. It's Massapequa in the black and gold. It is the Raiders of East Rockaway in the white, black, and silver. How cool is that with the flags at midfield? Feels like two countries meeting to have a peace summit. So East Rockaway will pick their direction. They will go right to left on your screen. Shake hands at midfield, and we are about to get underway. But lots of excitement on both sides as we take a look on how each team got here. Massapequa, man, that was a hard-fought victory over Hempstead, 19-13. East Rockaway, they dominated Garden City, which is not something that happens often. If you follow the high school level, a 24-0 victory over the Trojans. So here in the 10-year-old bracket, Massapequa against East Rockaway. And man, does that promise an exciting future for East Rockaway football at the high school level? Program that's had their highs and lows, has mostly been competitive in Conference 4. But this is a community. You beat a Garden City team. That is the location, along with Massapequa, for high school football in Nassau County. That is certainly exciting. So this is the first level. If you're watching all day long and you're stunned by this looking a little bit more like normal football, 10 is when kicking comes into the game. So it's East Rockaway sending it deep to Massapequa. This Massapequa team defined by their competitiveness and athleticism. They are a tenacious bunch, but the second a game or a competitive event ends, they'll laugh and play it off and just go back to being friends. And what's so cool about Massapequa, just about everyone on this team plays another sport or two, and they all play it together. So the bonds are just so tight for Massapequa. So kick skimmed up the middle and just falling on it, trying to avoid a turnover is Luke Kearney, one of the captains for the Mustangs. So let's take a quick look at our first of the starting lineups. It's the Massapequa offense. It's Justin Fazzolari at quarterback, Luke Kearney at running back, William DeLaurie at fullback, Antonio Guglielmi, his younger brother, was on the 9s team. He's at wingback, Chase Santoro, Mitchell Clagnaz, Ryan Tesser, Joseph Krennick, Ronald Scrimenti, Jake Coppola, and Connor Sheridan blocking up front for Massapequa. In this run-heavy attack, Fazzaroli will give it off, and it's or rather, he'll keep it himself. Short gain on the play. And now let's take a look at the starting defense for East Rockaway. At the linebacker spot, Michael D'Agostino, Ryan Ryder Dowling, defensive end, Ryan Mayer, defensive end, Zane Ying on the defensive line, Andrew Esposito, also a linebacker, Mason Alimo, Liam Cunningham, Joey DiGiovanni, Thomas O'Hagan, Joseph Ward, and Logan Goodwin making up the starters defensively for East Rockaway. So 2nd and 10 for Massapequa. Right side. Good job on the burst that time from Luke Kearney as he was dragged down by Alimo for East Rockaway. Luke Kearney, I mean, he's a captain, and he has earned it based on his work for Massapequa. Can run inside, has the speed to go outside. Had a number of 20-plus runs this year. Excellent long speed and the elusiveness to get away. Kearney will get another touch. Kearney outside, bouncing it back in, trying to duck an incoming Raider. And unable to avoid the grasp that time of a charging Rory McNichols. Or Zane Ying, who's on the tackle there. So a 1st and 10 for Massapequa. And the ball pops out, and a Raider dives on it. Big play for East Rockaway to start off. Recovering the fumble is Ryan Mayer. Let's take another look. Fazzolari just missed on the exchange that time. And right place, right time for Ryan Mayer. And now the starting lineup offensively for East Rockaway. Michael D'Agostino, coach's son at quarterback. Andrew Esposito, the running back, blocking for all of them. Ryder Dowling, Cosmo Lebrano, Thomas O'Hagan, Joseph Ward, James Giannotti, Liam Cunningham, Logan Goodwin, and Travis James, also tailbacks for this East Rockaway attack. So back to pass. D'Agostino throwing it up for grabs. That was dangerous, as it was James Travis there, or Travis James, unable to quite corral it. So now Massapequa defensively, Justin Fazzaroli, man, he does double duty, quarterback and right defensive tackle. Antonio Guglielmi, Henry Laberbera, Anthony Ruiz, Carter Blumstetter, Cody Shand, William DeLaurie, Jason Marone, Jake Coppola, Jacob Burr-Green, and of course Connor Sheridan. Massapequa's defense looks to hold up their offense, and a too quick start that time before the ball was given off to Travis James. So that'll push the Raiders back. 2nd and about 15. And another flag. So tough start here for the Raiders, trying to get their rhythm after forcing a turnover. As they're back near midfield. Will be a 2nd and 20. D'Agostino, the quarterback, not the coach. They nickname him Big Mike. Smart, tough, and fast. His favorite athlete is Barry Sanders. So going back in the time machine there. His older brother Anthony plays college football at RPI, and his other brother Lou Jr. plays for Chaminade. So powerful run this time. Andrew Esposito on the carry that time. Patterns his game after Marshawn Lynch. So he certainly packs a punch. 3rd and about 16 now. The Raiders will likely need to put the ball up in the air here. D'Agostino powering forward to the 40. A little quarterback keeper that time, it was Andy Esposito who took the direct snap. Esposito with some help from his offensive line who cleared the way in front of him. So it's a 4th and 11 now for the Raiders. Play was well blocked. By Benedict Andrew. To help clear the way. So 4th and 11. D'Agostino fakes the toss and said, a give up Main Street for Andy Esposito. Esposito's 2nd, 3rd, and 4th efforts. Should be close to a first down. And that's enough for East Rockaway. Wow, gutsy call from Coach D'Agostino. Esposito picked his way through traffic and dragged defenders for a first down. It's a good job for Massapequa defensively that time, ensuring that he went down by Jacob Bergreen. So clock will continue to run. 4 minutes to go in the opening quarter of play. As Massapequa runs on a couple of new options. So 2nd and 6. Ball on the 23. D'Agostino operating under center. Travis James gets the quick give. James shakes a tackle. James finally doused from behind Anthony Ruiz. The cornerback for Massapequa on the stop. Ruiz, a captain. Really good job securing the edge on runs, but also a great tackler in space. So covers a lot of ground, and that's why he's at that cornerback spot. It gets to be kind of a free roamer given the run-heavy offenses you see at the 10 and under level. So 1st and 10 from the 16 for East Rockaway. East Rockaway runs that wing tee offense on the high school level, and they get a little preview of it at the youth level. Some similar concepts. A dive up the middle the whole way this time for East Rockaway. As James was at the bottom of the pile. Who's Jake Coppola on the interior. Coppola. I mean, this Massapequa team, they just churn out large human beings. Coppola, a big kid at just 10 years old, plays with a lot of leadership. A punishing run blocker, devastating run stopper. You got to double him essentially every play. So 2nd and 8, ball on the 14. D'Agostino with James and back of him. D'Agostino and dragging a defender forward that time was Andy Esposito. Before he was finally stymied on the run that time by Jason Marone. Carter Blumenstetter also in on the tackle. Blumenstetter, it's a cool story. Where's number 99 for Massapequa? I kind of like the kids who pick the high numbers, you know, not really the glamour numbers. Want to be in the grime. Want to be fighting on the interior of that line as there's a timeout for East Rockaway. So we will step aside as well. 0-0, 1:14 to go in the first. East Rockaway threatening.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, sportscasts.
That's complete. First down and more. Touchdown, Oceanside.
Photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
So big 3rd down coming up for the Raiders. 3rd and 5 deep inside Massapequa territory. Up the middle, it's Logan Goodwin. Goodwin rumbling for first down yardage, but Massapequa says they have the football. The officials clearing out the pile. Let's see. And it'll stay with the Raiders. So first touch of the day for Logan Goodwin. And the ball did pop out. But the Raiders able to recover it. Thomas O'Hagan in the vicinity, the most likely Raider. 2 have come up with it. Couldn't quite see who punched it out for Massapequa. Might have been Anthony Ruiz. Sets up a 4th and 1, and no real decision to be made for Luis D'Agostino. They're going to go for this. I like how they set their formation late. It's a little harder to defend, but the Raiders off their keys and jump too fast. So that changes the calculus now on 4th down. We have not seen them successfully pass the football yet. Do they go that direction? Do they still try to run it? 4th and 6. And that's it for the opening quarter. So play of the day so far coming up when we return. 4th and 6 for East Rockaway. What will the decision be for Luis D'Agostino? We'll find out next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Now that the season is ending, it's time to order a college recruiting video from Varsity Media. Our video will help save you thousands of dollars in college tuition and land a spot on the team. Our videos include a bio section, editing effects to help you stand out on the field, music, and a digital link to send to college coaches. And if you act today, we are offering 15% off when you mention this ad, good through Thanksgiving. Contact Varsity Media today at 516-403-2050 or email Jeff at varsitymedia.net.
So it's a 4th and 6 as we open up the second quarter here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. You're watching the Nassau County Youth Football Championships in the 10 and under division. As a false start pushed back the Raiders. Initially it was a 4th down and maybe half a yard. Instead, a 4th and 6. D'Agostino under center. They fake the toss instead of give right up the middle. Shaking tacklers, battling forward, rumbling in for the score is Andy Esposito. And you love to see that. No celebration, hands the ball to the official, says thank you very much. And we noted it earlier, but Andy Esposito, he is a big-time fan of Marshawn Lynch. And watch this run one more time. Looking like a young Marshawn Lynch. And got the key block there for East Rockaway was from Joseph Ward. Did a great job on the kick out. Quarterback keeper the whole way. D'Agostino pushed from behind. Was it enough for East Rockaway? Just short. So a key stop for the Mustangs, and defensively, no need for them to hold their head after that 4th down. It was all about the interior of the defensive line that time. Jake Coppola, Antonio Guglielmi, Justin Fazzolari, Connor Sheridan on the right and left side, respectively. Doing good work to ensure that didn't get any worse. And if you want an individual highlight video, and coming out of this game, you are going to want an individual highlight video. All you have to do is email Jeff at varsitymedia.net. Relive your athlete's season, his or her best plays of the year, with editing effects and music. All you have to do is contact Varsity Media today to save 10%. So Massapequa started with the football. It was a botched exchange on a handoff that gave possession to East Rockaway. Ryan Mayer got the scoop. And East Rockaway took a little while, but able to punch it in for the score. So to send it deep for East Rockaway, Joe DiGiovanni. Make sure everyone is ready, and it's actually a very short kick, an onside kick. As it was bobbled initially by Chase Santoro, but able to come up with it. So fantastic starting field position, just a couple feet away from midfield for Massapequa. Ball officially spotted on the 49, and this is an incredible day for Massapequa. All 5 teams that they have make the D1 championships. The 8-year-olds won. The 9-year-olds lost a heartbreaker against Belmore Merrick. The 10-year-olds in the mix here. The 11s and the 12s coming up next. An 11-year-old game against Farmingdale should be interesting. A night after Farmingdale dominated Massapequa on the high school level. So expect those Massapequa kids to come out with some fire, trying to defend their older siblings. Run right up Main Street. Oh, look at this burst for Massapequa. Luke Kearney. We were told about it pregame. And Luke Kearney, man, oh man, does he live up to the hype. We noted it, a captain. Let's take another look. Well blocked all around for Massapequa. You just saw complete domination in the hole from Ronald Scrimenti. He turned his man around and opened up that massive lane for Kearney to charge through. So give left side. This time a stop in the backfield. And East Rockaway says they have the football again. Oh, man, they do. Back-to-back fumbles on the initial hit. It looked like Mike D'Agostino. Let's take another look at that one. So after the big run for Luke Kearney, East Rockaway responds by forcing another turnover. Esposito was in there. And it looked like James Giannotti coming up with the football, so Massapequa going to have to regroup. 50 seconds into the second quarter. Mustangs coaching staff yelling encouragement. Quarterback keeper the whole way, and nowhere for D'Agostino to run. Can't escape the waiting arms of Jason Marone. Marone, a captain, is just very quick to the football. Has a knack for being the first man there. So 2nd and 10 from the 40. D'Agostino. And no running room again. Good job just to fall forward that time by Travis James, but all over it defensively for Massapequa was Luke Cotter. And with an injured player down, we will step aside on the Varsity Media Sports Network. A 6-0 lead for East Rockaway when we return.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
So the injured player for East Rockaway is number 8, Travis James. Walked off under his own power, so hopefully he's just fine. So it'll be a 3rd and 8 for the Raiders without their star tailback. Andy Esposito, the other man in the backfield, likely to handle the football. Massapequa trying to get the ball right back after their 2nd consecutive fumble. Carry left side, shaking tacklers is Esposito, but not able to get to the first down marker. And near midfield brings up an interesting decision for head coach Louis D'Agostino. Fourth and about 4. East Rockaway looking as if they might attempt to go for this one. Playing with house money at this point. You know, you get your 2nd straight fumble, you have a 6-0 lead. Why not? Lots of late movement for East Rockaway, trying to get set. Some confusion. And now a timeout will be taken by East Rockaway and head coach Louis D'Agostino. Let's see if they got it officially. Yep. Timeout taken. for East Rockaway. We'll take one as well. 4th and 4 when we return on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
So 4th and 4 for East Rockaway. Massapequa needs the stop to get some momentum back. 2 consecutive fumbles offensively for the Mustangs. Can they help themselves out on the other side of the ball? Some late motion for East Rockaway. Quarterback keeper for D'Agostino. D'Agostino makes a move. D'Agostino gets the edge. The first down and more. Still running. D'Agostino putting on some speed. Tripped up. If not, he might have scored inside the 25. The quarterback coming through in a big way for East Rockaway. How about that work on the offensive line? Wonderfully done. As D'Agostino, he tripped himself up after that great burst. Now just a quarterback sneak on first down. D'Agostino, he starts on both sides of the ball. You know, he's a big fan of Barry Sanders. His favorite team is the Jets, so this has to be a happy year for him. And also plays lacrosse and basketball, so a multi-talented young athlete. D'Agostino also loves Legos and can solve a Rubik's Cube in under 5 minutes. We'll give it off this time. Esposito shaking a tackler. Esposito finally cut down after a gain of about 4. Luke Cotter in on the tackle for Massapequa. So 3rd and just about 6, with the first down marker being on the 15-yard line. Look at the size on the right side of that offensive line. Andrew Benedict, he's done really good work for East Rockaway, clearing the lane. So crucial 3rd down. Oh, and a second effort by James. He was stopped, got out of it. James is still going. Travis James finding a way. Another look. James was held up in the hole, got away, and kept on fighting. Travis James, a straight A student, a baritone player. Has an older brother who plays quarterback, and now a touchdown for East Rockaway. A 2-score lead for the Raiders. In for 6, Michael D'Agostino. D'Agostino Man, clearing away was Andrew Benedict. I know it's D'Agostino's touchdowns in the books. I think Benedict should get some official credit. He just mowed a path through the middle of that Massapequa defense. So with 3:14 to go until the half, the Raiders able to take advantage of back-to-back fumbles from the Mustangs. The Raiders couldn't get the one-point conversion last time. Little trickeration this time around. They'll get it easily. Esposito makes it 13-0. Intricately designed run play, and you know what? Andy Esposito, he's going to want that on his individual highlight video. All you have to do is email Jeff at varsitymedia.net to relive your athlete season, his or her best plays of the year with editing effects and music. And here's the good deal. You contact Varsity Media today, you save 10%, so get out your phone. Email Jeff at varsitymedia.net right now. So for the third time this game, East Rockaway will kick it to Massapequa. And the Mustangs, given that East Rockaway gets the ball to open the second half, really need a score here to cap the second quarter. Ball security will certainly be an emphasis. And that's the thing that's interesting for Massapequa. They've had a lot of success running the football. I mean, Luke Cotter, 2 straight big-time runs. Luke Cotter, excuse me. Just cannot fumble it away. We saw East Rockaway kick it very short last time. And they'll do the same here. As it goes right into the waiting arms of Connor Sheridan. And remember to subscribe to Varsity Media on YouTube. All you have to do is go to youtube.com/varsitymedia. Should be right under your screen while you're watching right now. And you can follow us on social media, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, at Varsity Media. I've been arguing for it for a long time. One day, there will be a Varsity Media TikTok. And bouncing this one inside, then out, Luke Kearney. As he had his momentum doused by Ryder Dowling. In addition to Mason Alaimo. First and 10 from the 47 for the Mustangs, down by 13. 2.5 minutes to go in the first half of this Nassau County Youth Football League 10 and under championship game. Oh, and the ball out again. Oh, man. It was Jason Moreau in good position to recover his own fumble. This was a hard hit from Joseph Ward, forcing it out. And you can tell this Raiders team so well coached defensively. They ensure they're in the right position to make the tackle, so that's not an issue. And then they just go after the football time after time after time, and it's had fantastic results through nearly a half of football. So big third down, 3rd and 8 for Massapequa. Inside, then outside goes Kearney. Kearney trying to find the edge. Will not be able to do so. Another stop that time for D'Agostino. So 4th and 8 for Massapequa, and tough decision coming off for Steve Fazzolari. You're down 13, and that is a lot in youth football. It's a more significant lead given the pace of the game and how difficult it is to convert extra points. As Fazzolari gets the play call from his head coach. Hard count for Fazzolari. Trying to bait East Rockaway. The Raiders stay disciplined. And a timeout for the Mustangs, so perhaps that's all it was. Trying to make it a 4th and 3, and now a decision to be made here on 4th and short. And remember, this is not the only matchup left on the day. Plenty more of Massapequa as they take on Farmingdale in the 11-year-olds division, and then Lynbrook in the 12-year-old division. And then for the 13-year-olds, it's East Islip and Farmingdale. So plenty to watch here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. A full day of championship games. Dreams made, dreams crushed. That's a little harsh. Dreams made and dreams delayed here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. 4th and 8. Massapequa trying to make Steve Fazzolari's dreams come true with a conversion here. So give outside. East Rockaway is all over at the stop in the backfield from Ryan Mayer. This defense continues to step up. Ryan Mayer, they call him Flash, and with good reason. He is a lightning bolt fighting the football. Fast, shifty, and utterly relentless. Also plays basketball and baseball. I'm a big fan of his activities. He loves playing video games, reading, and hanging with friends and family. I also love all those things. This is only his 2nd year of tackle football, but you can certainly see the potential. So 1st and 10 for East Rockaway, and for Coach D'Agostino here, do you just sit on the ball? Do you try and push it down the field? We will see. 23 seconds to go in the half. And a timeout called for by the Mustangs. So a little bit more time for East Rockaway to think about it, but a chance to extend a 13-point lead. 23 seconds to go in the second quarter here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Closing 23 seconds of the first half here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. East Rockaway, after forcing 2 turnovers via fumble on the opening 2 drives for Massapequa, gets a turnover on down. So the Raiders' defense has certainly stepped up, shutting down the typically potent Mustangs. And they'll go to work at midfield. 23 seconds, have yet to put the ball up in the air. Will that change here? Perhaps just some more high-variance run plays. And we see it, the double handoff that got them to touchdown. Now a fumble the other way. Oh, who's going to get it? East Rockaway at the last second, able to recover. As Massapequa, man, oh man, they were well-positioned there. Both Jason Marone and Will Delury looked like they had a shot at it. So East Rockaway will just let the half tick out, and they'll go into the break up 13-0 over Massapequa. The Mustangs needing a comeback when we return on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Hi, I'm Gene Sterator, CBS Rules Analyst and longtime sports official. For the adults watching this video, you grew up in a world where officials, umpires, and referees for youth sports took their place regularly and reliably ahead of game time. Today, unfortunately, it's getting harder and harder to fill those jobs. Videos showing abusive treatment of officials multiply on social media, and there have been consequences for the dreadful behavior of players, fans, and coaches. Massive shortages of officials now lead to games being canceled, and the positive effects of athletic competition are at critical risk for this generation and those to come. I'm hoping we all can begin to see youth competition through a different lens. Today, mistreatment of officials has become normalized, and we are facing an abnormal future where no officials to hire means no games on the schedule.
Any call, any decision, any human effect on wins and losses has become subject to not just withering criticism, but physical threats. There's a vicious cycle at work. Fans chase away officials, and there is a smaller pool to draw from, which makes it harder to get quality, well-trained people in position. The entire game suffers.
Did you know, according to the National Federation of High Schools, 80% of new officials quit the game after just 2 seasons because of abusive behavior from the stands and sidelines? This sort of verbal abuse and threatening behavior takes a toll on all officials and makes them leave the game altogether.
Did you know, from 2018 to 2022, an estimated 50,000 high school referees, roughly 20%, have quit. Half of the remaining referee population is at least 50 years old, but young officials are rarely staying more than 3 years in the job.
If the number of officials working contests in all sports doesn't begin to increase, there won't be enough officials to work the games. That means schedules will get cut, teams or even sports might get canceled. In many states, this is already happening.
Remember that officials are invested in what they do. Many officials have regular, full-time jobs, and they're sacrificing time away from their families. Try to demonstrate empathy. Put yourself in their position. Think how you would feel about getting yelled at throughout your workday.
Yelling and arguing with officials sends the wrong message to young players. According to Play by the Rules Sports Advocacy, it teaches them that it's not okay to make a mistake. They can blame others for their actions. They can disrespect authority figures. And it's okay to be rude and selfish.
You know, officials enforce rules, keep competitions fair, and make player safety a priority, allowing youth sports to be a valuable arena for growth. If we can all just work together and be more empathetic to not just the officials, but everyone else in youth and high school sports, we can then preserve what many of us have embraced about athletics. And you and I know the benefits of sports, right? Let's spread that gratitude and be proud of what we can build and not blind to how it's being torn down. Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
So what happens now? Your response in the heat of the moment is the only thing you totally control, and we have an experiment for you to try. Simply stated, just cheer for your child or the team you're there to support. Move that desire to lash out to a different place and encourage without rage. Your child's sporting memory should be about how you helped inspire and not about how you caused embarrassment.
Varsity Media is the tri-state area sports leader. We offer an array of services for any team, coach, player, athletic director, and parent. From game film to live streaming, we are available to cover your event anytime,
any place. Looking for an enhanced experience? How about a professional broadcast with multiple camera angles, announcers, graphics, and instant replay? Need a highlight reel? We produce individual highlights for college recruiting and team highlight videos for end-of-season banquets. And when it comes to social media, nobody has you covered better than us. Hype videos, sideline highlights. We can tailor custom videos to make your team stand out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Why waste your time dealing with anyone else? When it comes to sports video, Varsity Media stands alone. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net.
Now that the season is ending, it's time to order a college recruiting video from Varsity Media. Our video will help save you thousands of dollars in college tuition and land a spot on the team. Our videos include a bio section, editing effects to help you stand out on the field, music, and a digital link to send to college coaches. And if you act today, we are offering 15% off when you mention this ad, good through Thanksgiving. Contact Varsity Media today at 516-403-2050 or email Jeff at varsitymedia.net. For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, SPORTSCASTs.
That's complete. First down and more. Touchdown, Oceanside.
Photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. High school football fans, Varsity Media is bringing exciting, exclusive content to you for the 2022 season. Introducing the Varsity Media Pass, available on iOS and Android. Accessible all season long, the Varsity Media Pass features game highlights, weekly podcasts,
a clash of styles, out in Setauket. We love those differing styles, right?
Top 10 plays of the week, player interviews, and so much more. Head to varsitymediapass.com to download the app and start enjoying content only Varsity Media can bring.
Second half about to get underway here at Mitchell Field. A 13-0 lead after two quarters for the East Rockaway Raiders over the Massapequa Mustangs here at the Nassau County Youth Football League 10 and under championship game. Gavin Shull here with you on the Varsity Sports Media Network. Massapequa had their chances in the first half, but were slowed down by two fumbles and a fourth down stop, and East Rockaway able to take advantage. A second score from Michael D'Agostino, and an ensuing one-point conversion provided the 13-0 margin. And now East Rockaway to start the second half with the ball. East Rock had a fumble of their own on the final play of the first half, recovered it, and Louis D'Agostino said, you know, that's enough for me. Let's just take this into halftime with a 13-0 lead. Every possession so crucial going forward for Massapequa. Which is very, very challenging to come back from that kind of deficit at the youth level, and that will certainly help. An onside kick recovered by Massapequa. It was Anthony Ruiz coming up with it. Perfectly placed on the kick. It looked like Aiden Campos. And Ruiz all over that ball. Or excuse me, James Polo, number 56, the one who kicked it. And that functions for Massapequa as a forced turnover of their own. As the Raiders got 2 via fumble, 1 via downs in the first half. And that was a botched snap, I believe, for Massapequa. Ball never made it to its intended target. Mustangs, just falling it for a yard. So 2nd and about 9 as we take another look at the Massapequa starting offense. Justin Fazzolari, Luke Kearney, William DeLury, Antonio Guglielmi, Chase Santori, Mitchell Clagnaz, Ryan Tesser, Joseph Krennick, Ronald Scrimenti, Jake Coppola, and Connor Sheridan. Guglielmi, I've been struggling with his name for 2 games now, so we gotta get it down. Younger brother, older brother, both have been fantastic on the day for Massapequa. 2nd and 10 ball at the 48. And that one hits the turf, and once again, East Rockaway coming up with the football. 3rd fumble of the afternoon for the Mustangs, and East Rockaway, give them credit. They've been proactive defensively, and they've taken advantage of every opportunity they've been given by the Mustangs. So just mishandled on the exchange that time. And then it was in perfect position. Big number 43 for this East Rockaway defense, Jack Maggiore. So after all that, an onside kick and a fumble. Feels like a lot happened, but ultimately nothing really happened in a minute. It's just East Rockaway ball. And trying to break this outside is James. James shakes the tackle. James showing some speed. James out of bounds inside the 30. What a run for James. For he was escorted out of play by Cody Shand. The contact balance for Travis James, just ridiculous. He gets hit, doesn't feel it, continues to roll. And now a look at the starting lineup offensively for East Rockaway. We already told you about Michael D'Agostino, Benedict Andrew, Liam Cunningham, Ryder Dowling, Andrew Esposito, James Giannotti, Logan Goodwin, Travis James, Cosmo Lebrano, Thomas O'Hagan, and Joseph Ward. 1st and 10 at the 27 after the significant run from James. And now for Massapequa defensively, Justin Fazzolari pulling double duty, Cody Shand, William DeLury, Antonio Guglielmi, Carter Blumenstetter, Jason Marone, Jacob Bergreen, Henry Laberbira, Anthony Ruiz, Jake Coppola, and Connor Sheridan. It's LaBarbera for Henry. So 2nd and approximately 9 for East Rock. Belated give. James trying to find a lane. Cannot. As he's shut down on the run by Luke Kearney. And Cody Shand also in on the play. Lots of talented ball carriers for this East Rockaway team. We already told you a little bit about Travis James, wears number 8. Brings a lot to the table. Speed, athleticism, strength, vision. Big fan of Lamar Jackson and Justin Jefferson. 2 similarly explosive talents at the next level. D'Agostino picking his way through traffic. Finally flattened on the play by Carter Blumenstetter, whose father is an assistant coach at Plain Edge High School, who just won a Nassau County championship. So big day for the Blumenstetter family, looking for multiple titles over the weekend. 6.5 to go in the third quarter. East Rockaway quick to the line for a 4th and 1. D'Agostino gives it to Esposito. Esposito burrows his way forward for a Raiders first down. First and 10 at the 16. It's all about the left side of that line. Look at the down blocking there. Goodwin got the last one. But before that, it was Thomas O'Hagan and Ryder Dowling helping to clear the path. Not just force, but really solid technique on the left side of that line. Approaching the halfway point in this third quarter. This time it's Goodwin. Goodwin gets the edge. Goodwin racing to the corner. Lays down a stiff arm. Goodwin turning inside. Pushed out of bounds at the 3. Luke Kearney saving a touchdown for Massapequa. Good hustle from him, but how about that from Goodwin? Another one of these talented East Rockaway ball handlers. And now they go quick, and diving on a would-be fumble is Goodwin, so back-to-back big-time plays from Logan Goodwin. Big family for the Goodwins. Has an older brother named Cooper, younger brother named Dylan, younger sister named Aubrey. Also plays lacrosse and basketball, and has a passion for going to Myrtle Beach with his cousin. And as much as he is talented on the football field, he's potentially even more highly regarded in lacrosse, where he plays for Team 91, arguably the best youth program in the nation. So give to James. James fighting forward. He's not going to get in on 2nd and goal from the 2. Kearney was there for Massapequa. So it'll be 3rd and goal from the 1. Also helping out on the tackle for Massapequa was Anthony Boyle, whose name we haven't gotten to call a whole lot yet for the Mustangs, but super hard-working player with a great attitude. So 3rd and goal from the 1. The Raiders looking to all but put this game away, take a 20-point lead. Quick give up the middle and in for 6 are the Raiders. Tack on another score for Travis James. with two of his idols playing later today in Stephon Diggs and Lamar Jackson. Travis James looking to help his team in a similar fashion. And I love this formation from Coach D'Agostino. Rather play call. Quick halfback dive. You have a little motion on the exterior of the play to slow up the eyes of the Massapequa defense. And a 19-0 lead for East Rockaway. 3:29 to go in the third. High snap. D'Agostino corrals it. D'Agostino bullying his way forward for the extra point. Raiders up by 20. A lot of work to do for the Mustangs when we return on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Now that the season is ending, it's time to order a college recruiting video from Varsity Media. Our video will help save you thousands of dollars in college tuition and land a spot on the team. Our videos include a bio section, editing effects to help you stand out on the field, music, and a digital link to send to college coaches. And if you act today, we are offering 15% off when you mention this ad, good through Thanksgiving. Contact Varsity Media today at 516-403-2050 or email Jeff at varsitymedia.net.
$3:29 to go in the third quarter, and the Raiders off yet another Massapequa turnover, their third fumble of the game, once again able to turn it into points. That was certainly one of the keys for East Rockaway coming into this one. Not only to be able to force turnovers, but to take advantage of them, and that game plan has played out to a T. They lead this 10-under Youth Football League championship game here on Nassau County by 20. Short kick. And Massapequa all over it. Smooth recovery for the captain, Jason Marone, that time. It must be frustrating for the Mustangs offensively, not only because of the fumbles, but of what the fumbles have denied them of, and that is any semblance of offensive rhythm in this ball game. Just have not really been able to establish an identity. They had the 120-plus yard run for Luke Kearney, but beyond that, just haven't really felt the football in this game. They haven't been able to distribute it as much as they like. Still over 15 minutes to go, so some time to find that rhythm, find some success in turn. Well blocked for the Mustangs. Picking his way forward is Kearney. About 7 on the run.
Luke Kearney with the carry. Stopped by Michael D'Agostino.
D'Agostino, the quarterback, on the tackle. This time Massapequa switches it up as Marone is on the carry. He's slowed up by Liam Cunningham. Massapequa goes quick on 3rd and short, and thrown back is Marone. East Rockaway's D-line continues their stellar performance in this one. Joseph Ward again, who forced the fumble earlier in this ball game. And down by 20, no real decision to be made for Massapequa. They're going to go for it under the guidance of head coach Steve Fazzolari. Fourth and 3 from the 48. Massapequa looking to sustain a drive for the first time all day, and that's a false start against the Mustangs. That'll make it a little bit more difficult I think that happened a couple times, less so in this game, and more so in the 9 and under game. Well, that's one of the greatest challenges of coaching youth football is instilling discipline on the offensive line. I mean, you think college and NFL guys are jumpy. Think about what it's like when they're little kids on a 4th down just trying to get that head start. And Justin Fazzolari talking it over. And Massapequa wants to take a little longer to figure out what they're going to do here. They're going to take a timeout. We will as well on the Varsity Media Sports Network. 20-0 Raiders. 4th and 8 for the Mustangs when we return.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Big 4th down for Massapequa, 4th and 8. As they took a timeout trying to get to the optimal play here. Expect a little trickeration, little misdirection. Quick toss, well blocked, well drawn up. A 1st down and more. What a cut from Kearney. Kearney trying to dice it back inside, and now he's finally wrapped up by Mason Alimo. But wow, that was worth the timeout for Steve Fazzolari. It was a toss, and they really got out ahead on the block, and I'm curious to see the replay here. Was there some misdirection element to it? It's just Kearney picking the right hole and then making magic happen. And that last cutback was crucial, ensured that he got the 1st down. First and 10 at the 38. 1:15 to go, quarter number 3. And now East Rockaway wants to talk things over. Massapequa looking to mount a comeback. They have a lot of work to do. They're down by 20, but this drive continues for the Mustangs. And if you want an individual highlight video, I know Luke Kearney and his family want an individual highlight video. All you got to do is email jeff@varsitymedia.net, and it gives you an opportunity to relive your athlete season, his or her best plays of the year. And we'll add in editing effects and music on the house. All you have to do is contact Varsity Media today and save 10%. Again, that's jeff@varsitymedia.net. So again, 1st and 10 at the 38. Massapequa takes their time with the clock stop. Fazzolari relaying instructions. The Mustangs are on the ball fast. Quarterback keeper Fazzolari was almost a trick play as he got the snap, paused for a sec. The defense froze, and then he took off. Still only about 2 yards, maybe 2.5 on the run. Fazzolari, such a smart player, essentially a coach on the field as that ball is behind its intended target. Did it go for a fumble? You bet. Backwards pass recovered by East Rockaway specifically. It was Ryan Mayer. who has had a number of key plays defensively. As Fazzolari was under pressure, had to change his trajectory on that one. You like the fundamentals from Mary. I mean, a lot of guys, their eyes would go big. They would try to pick it up and run with it, but with that 23 to, or it should be that 23-0 lead for the Raiders. I think that should be 20-0. It's a no. There's no need to try to make the hero play. You just got to get on the ball there. And Mayer didn't overcomplicate it. Sat down on that ball, and with 23 seconds to go in the third, the Raiders in fantastic position. So left side, Esposito weaving through traffic. 4 or 5 on the run. Esposito looking a little hurt after that play, was limping a bit. And that'll do it for the third. 23-0 lead for East Rockaway over the Massapequa Mustangs here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. We'll see you on the other side.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
High school football fans, Varsity Media is bringing exciting, exclusive content to you for the 2022 season. Introducing the Varsity Media Pass, available on iOS and Android. Accessible all season long, the Varsity Media Pass features game highlights, weekly podcasts,
A clash of styles, out in Setauket. We love those differing styles, right?
top 10 plays of the week, player interviews, and so much more. Head to varsitymediapass.com to download the app and start enjoying content only Varsity Media can bring.
So a fourth turnover for Massapequa, and East Rockaway in position to take advantage. Scoreboard correctly reset. It is 20-0, not 23-0, in favor of the Raiders. D'Agostino stymied in the backfield. Tackle in space that time for Jake Coppola, who is just a force for Massapequa. Quite possibly the MVP of this team on the line. In the conversation for the best two-way lineman at the entire 10 and under level in Nassau County. And a player down on the field for East Rockaway, so we will step aside. The Raiders lead it by 20 here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, sportscasts.
That's complete. First down and more. Touchdown, Oceanside.
Photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
So helped off the field, it looked to be Michael D'Agostino. We'll confirm that in just a second. There's a new quarterback into the game for the Raiders. Whoever it was you hope is okay. It does seem to be D'Agostino. As the new QB is Joseph Ward. And a miss, or a botched handoff to James Giannotti that time. Giannotti, or Ward rather, able to just fall on top of it.
Michael D'Agostino with the carry. Stopped by Jake Capola.
So 4th
Brings up 4.
and about 8. The ball in the 44. Little under 8.5 to go in the 4th. East Rockaway, they've been in control the whole way. Massapequa got the ball first. East Rockaway forced a fumble. East Rockaway forced a fumble in the second possession, then got a turnover on downs, then forced another fumble. And then we're able to recover a backwards pass. And a false start will turn us into 4th and 13. And at the 10 and under level, punting is not very prevalent, so you're generally put into a position to go for it on all 4 downs. At the at younger levels, 8 and 9, you can quote-unquote call for a kick. There's no formal kick, but you get a free 20 yards before the other team takes over. Bunch formation here, and it looks like they will attempt to kick it. And it's a really good one. Wow. The ball dies at the 17. Everything working for East Rockaway. That's a 39-yard punt. Pretty impressive for a 10-year-old.
At the 17-yard line.
So a sterling kick for East Rockaway. It was hard to fully make out the number. I believe it was Aiden Martin who kicked that ball. So Massapequa hoping for a clean possession. They have a lot of offensive talent when they hold on to the ball. Another nice run for Kearney. It's certainly been a bright spot on the day for the Mustangs.
Luke Kearney with the carry.
And it's at the high school level under Kevin Shippos. There's some very creative coaching and always plentiful skill position talent. I mean, you just look over the last couple of years, guys like Ryan Fountain, Mike D'Alessandro. Plenty of good players coming out of that Chiefs program. And a big-time stop in the backfield for Esposito.
Andrew Esposito stops the game. Brings up 3rd down.
So 3rd and about 7 for Massapequa after the loss on 2nd down. Fazzolari. And caught up in traffic is Kearney. Esposito there again, and he had plenty of help. Joe DiGiovanni on top of it as well. 4th and 8 for Massapequa.
Michael D'Agostino with the stop.
Sets up a 4th and 5.
4th down.
Bringing the play over from the sideline is James Marone, the other captain for Massapequa. Toss left side. Speed from Kearney. Will it be enough for the first down? Likely not, as Ryan Mayer gets another stop defensively. Mayer has been the defensive MVP in this one. As we noted earlier, just his second year playing tackle football, and is very clearly a natural. So East Rockaway with fantastic starting field position at the Massapequa 26 with 5 minutes to go. You'd expect them to stay relatively conservative. Essentially an insurmountable lead at 20-0. And timeout called for. So we'll step aside as well and see you on the other side. The Raiders looking to cinch a championship. Final 5:13 next from Mitchell Field.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Back at Mitchell Field where the Raiders are hyped up. First down from the 21. And they can sense a championship is close. Just 5 minutes of game time away. The result all but inevitable here at Mitchell Field. New quarterback into the game once again is Joe DiGiovanni. Stop on the play for Massapequa from Joe Draguk. And an injured player down for the Mustangs. And this Massapequa team, I mean, you can see it right now on the field. Same is certainly true for East Rockaway, but getting a chance to hear from their head coach, Steve Fazzolari, this week. He said it's such a special group of kids because they can compete against each other viciously, and then the second it ends, they laugh and giggle as if nothing happened. And these guys really care about each other's success. I mean, he said he's never coached a team that has a bond like this group. And there's no one really looking out for personal accomplishments on this Massapequa team. They want to win for each other. And look, you hear that from coaches all the time. It's occasionally a little cliche, but you can see it today in a game where they're struggling a little bit and having some difficulties, and no one's getting mad at each other. Nobody's pouting. They just continue to play hard, and it is a theme in this Mustangs program at just about every level. And you can see that pride continuing to be flashed as they play hard, down by 20. Cody Shand cutting his way up the field to ensure the Raiders didn't advance it further. And some Massapequa fans certainly not ready to give up. Shand, such a tough, instinctive player, just has a knack for making the big play. Third and 15, ball is on the 30. So an outside run. And a second effort on it. Refusing to go down is Mayer, as he is finally corralled by Aiden Campos from Massapequa.
Brought down by James Polo.
Also in on the play for the Chiefs, James Polo, or for the Mustangs. So 4th and 13 from the 28 for East Rockaway. Massapequa defense was dealt a tough hand at points in this game, but they've continued to play hard, play with passion. The quarterback keeper for DiGiovanni will not get enough yardage on 4th and 13. So one final try in all likelihood for this Massapequa offense. And a look at the upcoming schedule. So as soon as this one wraps up, it's going to be a quick start. Farmingdale and Massapequa, a rematch of the Nassau County Championship game at the high school level. A day later at the youth level, 11 and under. Then 12 and under, Massapequa will have one more chance at another ring as they take on Lynbrook. And for the 13 and under game, it's East Islip against Farmingdale. So plenty of reasons to stick with the Varsity Media Sports Network throughout the day, particularly if you reside in the Massapequa area or have a loved one playing in the game for Massapequa or any other school. 3 minutes to go. 1st and 10 at the 24 for the Mustangs. Tough run that time from Nicholas Kalura. And I love to see this from Steve Fazzolari. Game is out of reach, and he's making sure everyone gets a chance to play. Everyone gets a touch. And again, it's in line with the theme for this Mustangs team that no one guy is bigger than anyone else. And with an injured player down, we will take a quick break on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Final 2:37 when we come back.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Hope you didn't miss us. 2nd and 4 from the 29. 2:34 to go. Maybe a yard for Massapequa here. This East Rockaway defense, man, this Mustangs team, they've been explosive all year long. But they have had their issues doing much of anything against the Raiders. And there was some promise early on in terms of how they were moving the ball, but you got to give East Rockaway a whole lot of credit. Just constantly stripping at the football, fighting to make plays, and another fumble on a mishandled snap. So it could be the 5th of the game. It is recovered by East Rockaway. And that one in traffic. The big man getting down to go and get it. Liam Cunningham. That was great recognition. The snap was mishandled, and the two-way starter for this East Rockaway side, who brings a lot of strength, athleticism, and toughness, able to go down and get it. Liam Cunningham is a big fan of going on vacation, and he loves sports cars. You know what? With his kind of athletic talent playing in the NFL one day, might be able to own a couple of sports cars. So East Rockaway will likely just salt away the final 144 here. A championship all but assured for the Raiders. And again, you look up at the high school level. Tough season for East Rockaway in Conference 4, running that wing T system, but plenty of talent down the pipeline. Has to be encouraging if you're an East Rockaway high school coach. Carry that time from Alimo. Alimo has excelled defensively in this game.
Stopped by Ryan Balzano.
So they call him Mace Alimo. He also plays shortstop for the travel baseball team, the South Shore Sharks. Loves riding bikes with his friends, drawing, and making fantasy sports lineups. You know what? Great interest. Final minute here for Mitchell Field, and a sack for Massapequa, the first of this ball game. So that was James Polo cutting in for the stop. Polo is so energetic. And he's worked really hard on his punting, and we got to see it earlier in this ball game. A 39-yarder from James Polo, so a real two-way talent for Massapequa. And that time, Aiden Martin slowed down in space by a couple of Mustangs. First one there was Nicholas Kalura, but that'll do it. The clock will expire, and the East Rockaway Raiders are on top of the 10 and under world here at the Nassau County Youth Football League Championships. They deserve that kind of celebration, a shutout of the Massapequa Mustangs. A dominant day defensively. They recover 5 fumbles, force another turnover on downs, and then a run game guided by their fantastic offensive line. Michael D'Agostino, who we hope is all right, and a fantastic pair of running backs in Andy Esposito and Travis James. So for my fantastic producer, Chris Sweeney, for our hardworking cameramen on the field and in the booth, I am Gavin Shaw signing up for now, but not signing off on a massive day of football here at Mitchell Field.